Guys, finally BMW have revealed the truth behind why they want you to purchase a hydrogen car. Now, we already know Toyota's admitted to this. Toyota have invested heavily in this. But BMW has fully admitted that they will build the infrastructure. What does that mean? The hydrogen refueling stations. Therefore, you'll be buying BMW's hydrogen from them, and they'll be like the next Shell or ExxonMobil or whatever you want to call it. One thing a lot of people don't realize is actually hydrogen vehicles are much more expensive to produce than electric cars. That's just a simple, logical fact, and the media have never actually pointed this out. Toyota and BMW have been trying to reduce, in fact, all manufacturers that are invested in hydrogen have been trying to reduce the cost of making a hydrogen-powered car. Right now, guys, if you want to basically replace your hydrogen fuel tank, which some people have had to do in the past, it's about $100,000. I mean, these things are incredibly expensive. Toyota and BMW say that they'll be mass producing hydrogen cars in 2018, and they have a plan to be able to manufacture them at a much lower cost. Here's what they say they're going to do. Now, I think this is all utterly ridiculous. But anyway, welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. And thanks for tuning in. Guys, I want to just put the word out there. I've recently installed a solar system. You probably already know this. I've mentioned it many times. But get solar. Get an EV, get solar. Just ignore hydrogen. It's ridiculous. Now, if you want to get a solar system and you're in Australia, use the company I use. They're the best. They have the best reviews in Australia. I think everyone who's really in the game knows that they are. I'll put a link in the description, and they will give you a bit of a discount if you actually use that link. Now, I don't make any profit. Just want to be very clear on that. BMW and Toyota say that they're going to make hydrogen cars cheaper, and therefore that's going to allow them to take off. Now, be very careful of this. Toyota have invested in building hydrogen refueling stations and supplying them. So Toyota is basically wanting to turn into a fossil fuel supplier, a big energy powerhouse. You'll be buying your hydrogen from Toyota in the future. And they've actually got joint venture partnerships with fossil fuel companies to do this. So keep in mind, there's a very clear vested interest for them to get you to buy a hydrogen-powered car. But there is a high court case in America right now. There's a class action lawsuit against Toyota. People who own hydrogen cars, a pretty significant percentage of them, say that they're unusable. There's not enough hydrogen refueling stations. Hydrogen is tripled in cost over the last few years. There's numerous problems with these vehicles. Anyhow, BMW and Toyota say, well, no matter. Eventually, it'll all catch on and everyone will want to buy hydrogen. So they're apparently developing components for their so-called next-generation fuel cell systems. The German car maker BMW will still use electric motors and hydrogen tanks developed in-house. Toyota already has hydrogen fuel cell vehicles with its Mirai and Crown, but while BMW has showcased prototypes, it is yet to launch its first series production fuel cell EV. It has a BMW X5, and it's actually kind of retrofitted that to sell that as a hydrogen-powered vehicle. So BMW have confirmed that they'll be mass producing hydrogen-powered cars in 2028. And in fact, BMW their executives were all polled. I believe they asked about 10 different BMW executives, basically the hierarchy at BMW. What do you think will be the predominant means of transportation? What will it be powered by in 2040? And I believe it was at least 80% of them that said hydrogen will be the dominant form of car. So we're going to move away from internal combustion and EVs and hybrids and plug-in hybrids. And well, I think we'll just be driving EVs in 2035 period globally. We're going to move away from that. For some reason, we're all going to buy a hydrogen car so we can buy hydrogen fuel and not be able to charge at home. Have to go to a fuel station. So that's what BMW and Toyota would like you to do. BMW said this: we will join our forces and all our expertise in both our companies to build the best ever fuel cell system and use the economies of scale to bring down cost in order to have an attractive car for customers at an attractive price. Now, Toyota are currently selling their cars for around $20,000 in America because they can't sell them and they want to sell them to you, but the cost to manufacture one is at least double that. I believe it might be even triple that. So obviously, there is very much an interest from Toyota and BMW to get you to not buy an EV because really, particularly in Toyota's case, they don't have the best EVs. They have not invested in manufacturing them. Anyhow, they've been working together for quite a while now, and BMW has been testing a fleet of hydrogen fuel cell X5 vehicles called the iX5. These use a BMW drivetrain, but Toyota's fuel cells. BMW says its fuel cell EV will be the first ever from a premium brand. Well, Hyundai, Honda, and Toyota have all invested heavily in hydrogen technology. In fact, so has General Motors. They haven't introduced fuel cell EVs for their luxury Genesis, Acura, and Lexus brands. Customers can expect the BMW and Toyota fuel cell EV models to maintain their distinct brand identities and characteristics, providing them with individual fuel cell EV options to choose from, said a press release from BMW. Recently, I found out that the war in Ukraine, the Ukrainians were using Toyota's fuel cell Mirai for a very good purpose. Now, I believe the Mirai is an utterly useless vehicle. There's very few hydrogen refueling stations worldwide. It's very expensive, and to be honest, the range isn't that great either. There's a lot of EVs with longer range, put it that way. But they are very useful in wars, and Ukraine has repurposed Toyota Mirais as bombs. Literally, you can drive it in, and I don't know if they're using a dummy to drive it or not. Basically, drive it into the point you want it to go, and it just looks like a car, but then it's used as a bomb. Now, these hydrogen cars actually are very effective as bombs, and I think maybe Toyota should just help Ukraine. To be honest, these cars, in my opinion, at least they've found a good home. At least there's an actual real purpose for them, where they can help Ukraine defend its borders, help Ukraine, assuming that's a good thing, and I would say most people probably think it is, help Ukraine fight Vladimir Putin. Getting back to this strategy between BMW and Toyota, a lot of this is marketing speak, and I've actually tried to read into this to try and find out if there's any real legitimacy to any of this stuff. But here's one quote that they said: "We see a very, very good future in regards to refueling stations due to the fact that passenger vehicles share the same refueling station systems like heavy transport and commercial vehicles too. And we see a very good future in this regard," said Dr. Rath. "The ecosystem is reliant on demand and supply, and we bring in with the car the demand." So they're going to bring in the demand. Basically, they're saying just by bringing the car in, that is the demand. I think they're getting principles of a free market kind of a bit mixed up here. Just by bringing a product in, that doesn't create the demand, but obviously that's what BMW believes. The ecosystem is reliant on demand and supply, and we bring in a car with the demand. Nevertheless, we also have talks with infrastructure providers, and we try to foster jointly with Toyota an infrastructure system. So here's the truth behind it. Toyota and BMW are not just partnering on hydrogen vehicles, they're partnering on a hydrogen refueling system. That's their real plan, right? Sell you hydrogen, make money on the car, then make money on selling you hydrogen for the next, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. I really hope this doesn't work out. I doubt it will, but let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.